Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Eating Good Podcast. My name is Sam.
I'm Marisol.
I'm Oscar.
I'm David.
And on this podcast, we go to a new restaurant every week, give our reviews, and then we jump into some wild topics. This week, we let Marisol pick the restaurant.
Yay! This week, for my pick, I decided to go with the Lox. The Lox Bagel Shop.
Woo! Team Bagels!
Yeah, bagels!
Yeah.
One small step for a bagel. One giant leap for
Bagel kind.
bagel community.
I don't think that's ever been uttered.
Bagel lovers.
I think it's the first time those words have ever been uttered in that order.
Uttered.
like a cow.
Anyways, the Lox Bagel Shop produces hand-rolled, boiled, and baked bagels and bagel sandwiches in the heart of the short north. Their bagels are a cross between a New York and a Montreal style, boiled and fired in a live fire oven. Ooh, I did not know that. They pride themselves on resourcing the highest quality of ingredients as well as sound technique to produce a delicious and enjoyable bagel or bagel sandwich.
So they got bagels. They make them into sandwiches.
They make sandwiches.
Bada bing, bada boom. They're
Easy
delicious.
peasy, lemon squeezy. You can't go wrong with a bagel sandwich. And they have 3 types of bagels, right? Or is it 4?
They had plain bagels, sesame bagels, everything bagels, and sea salt and herb bagels.
Mm. And I didn't know that they make them in the fire oven because like mine was like really toasty and I loved it.
Agreed.
Do you want to talk about your sandwich first?
Sure. I got a breakfast sandwich, so I did egg and cheese and sausage on a sesame bagel. My bagel itself was so toasty. Some of the parts of it were like brown and I loved it.
That's it?
Are you good? Did you have a stroke?
Yeah. It was soft on the inside, crunchy on the outside. My eggs were like scrambled eggs and they were fluffy. The sausage was just sausage, but it was delicious.
How was the egg sauce?
Was there a sauce? I don't think
I
there
think
was
that's what
sauce.
it said on the
Egg
menu.
sauce.
Egg sauce.
I don't even know what it was, but
Ooh.
it was good. I didn't even taste the sauce.
Hmm.
The egg sauce was delicious. I love eggs. I'm gonna guess it's like more like yolky.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but it was really good. That's just my normal go-to like breakfast sandwich: egg, cheese, sausage. But I feel like the bagel itself is kind of what made it and put it all together. I also got a side of pickle.
A side of pickle. A side pickle.
A side pickle, and obviously I feel like they make it in house, and it was so good. I would give my breakfast sandwich a 10 out of 10.
Wow.
When I got it, I was like, it looks so good. I'm gonna be so sad once I'm done with it. And when I was done with it, I was really sad. I was like, remember when it was like new and just in my hands?
R.I.P.
I know. But yes.
So is that like your ideal, perfectly executed breakfast sandwich?
I would say so, yeah.
Nice.
It's like my perfect breakfast sandwich.
Nice.
Who's next? Oscar?
Yippee-ki-yay. So I ordered the Italian Stallion bagel sandwich. It came with cured Italian meats. I don't know how to say this word. Giardiniera.
I'm going to guess giardiniera.
Yeah. Which I think is a type of cheese. And lettuce and tomato. Oh, and for my bagel, I got the sea salt and herb. That bagel sandwich had so much flavor. Like, I could have ate a second one. It was so good. It had a lot of meat. I'm pretty sure it had like prosciutto, and it had another meat. I don't know what the other meat was.
Gabagool.
Soprazzetta. What's the other one?
Capicola or something.
Capicola.
Something like that.
Yeah, it had shredded lettuce, and then it had like pieces of tomato. I didn't really care too much about those, so like as they fell out, I'm like, that's fine. But it also had some sort of sauce or like vinaigrette. Like
I was thinking like vinaigrette.
like some oil, like
yeah.
that. It just all worked. It was like so good. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. I would go back just to order that sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Your sandwich
looked
did
good.
look
Yeah,
good.
it
It
looked
looked
loaded.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were all eating. We look over at Oscar and he's on his last bite.
Yeah,
Licking
I was
his
like
fingers.
finishing like half of the first half, and I look over at Oscar and he's eating his fingers because he can't finish his sandwiches.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're not very big because they're only as big as a bagel.
bagel.
Yeah.
They're like regular size, I would say.
Yeah, a regular sized bagel isn't
Not
like,
big for you.
Yeah.
You could eat two. I believe you.
But
I
it
could
was,
eat two.
It was loaded. Like all of the sandwiches,
Mhm.
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
stood tall.
definitely loaded.
Yeah.
I couldn't eat 2. I could maybe eat 1.5.
And a half.
You don't eat that much
Nah,
normally.
I think just the 1 is good. For me.
Honestly, yeah. I think the one to just feel comfortable. If I had 2 of mine, I think I would be meat sweats.
Yeah.
I could eat like 1.5.
I could eat 2 and then have like a light dinner.
Oh.
He's saying if he like loads up, that would be him loading up on his
Yeah.
breakfast and
Gotcha,
then not
okay.
eating until like dinner and just having a little
Yeah.
bit.
But my particular sandwich was defective because they didn't cut it all the way through.
I think that's what they meant to do so it doesn't like fall apart.
Really? I don't know because
No, I
I
think
couldn't
they
pull it
accidentally
apart.
missed like the last part.
The last
yeah,
sliver.
because my
Yeah.
bagel wasn't cut all the way through, and if I had pulled it, my entire sandwich would have just fell apart.
Is that why you gave it a 9 out of 10?
No. So I had to eat it from one side rather than eating each half. I just ate it like a normal sandwich.
Ooh. So I looked it up, and the giardiniera
Mhm.
is an Italian relish of pickled vegetables in vinegar or oil.
Oh
So
yeah,
that's probably
that's
what
what,
that
it was.
But there was so much of that. I wonder if, like for the Italian sound specifically, they don't cut it, so you kind of eat it like a.
But it was cut down the middle. It just
Mhm.
wasn't cut all the way. Like
Yeah.
at the very bottom of the bagel, it wasn't cut all the way. So it's like they didn't put the knife all the way through.
Mhm.
Well, that's how mine was, but he just ripped it apart and it was
Oh,
fine.
mine would not have ripped apart. Mine would have just fell apart.
Mm.
And then I also ordered their fried potatoes, which their menu says it's potato mixed with sour cream. And I think they just fry that because it was, when I was eating it, like they kind of look like the triangle, like hash browns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like if they were really thick.
They were really
Mhm.
thick.
And not like, they didn't look like hash browns, it's just like the shape.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, the shape. But it was very soft on the inside. Like I almost didn't think it was potato. I almost thought it was like
I was going to say
something
texture
else.
must have been different if they put sour cream in it.
yeah, it was very mushy. But the mushy from the inside combined with the
Crispy from
crispy
the outside.
of the outside, yeah, it was
Mm.
really good.
It's like I'm eating it.
If only he let us have a bite.
They were 2 small pieces.
He's like remembering from that time that you got your pastry with the
Oh
strawberries.
my god, it was like 3 bites and it was gone
Mm-hmm.
per side. I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10.
He
Okay.
ate those first. Just so he wouldn't ask.
I ate it last.
Oh.
It's fine. It's fine. I think next time I go, I will order those because I didn't see those on the menu.
I
But
didn't
now
either.
knowing that they're mixed with sour cream makes me want to try it even more because I feel like it's going to be fluffy on the inside.
Very.
All right. I got the Lox sandwich, which is the
Ooh.
name of the restaurant. So I got an everything bagel with the Lox, which includes smoked salmon, which is what Lox is, capers, onion, cucumber, and cream cheese. And I'll say the onion and cucumber were slightly pickled, which I loved because I don't like cucumbers, but because they were pickled, they were good. So I got an everything bagel. That's like my favorite type of bagel. And it was really good. I mean, my sandwich is full of a lot of stuff, but I feel like it was all slippery stuff. So it kept on falling apart, which is fine. I don't mind like using my fingers to eat everything. Overall, very good. Oh, I also added a fried egg. That's what was additional for mine, which I like because then the yolk will explode and ooze all over the whole sandwich
So
and
it's
make it
extra slippery.
even more creamier, even more slippery. But it's fine. I'm not afraid of a slippery food.
She says, "Bring on the challenge."
Yes. Overall, I like Lox a lot, but I do think because there was so much on the sandwich, the Lox got a little bit lost in there. I almost wish it was more like an open face sandwich, so it was like half a bagel with the Lox on it, and I ate it that way rather than like the 2 pieces of bread at the same time. Because
Lox
then
in the
the
sauce.
Lox got kind of lost.
Lox in the sauce.
But sometimes I did just have bites of just the Lox, and it was so good. So overall, I'm gonna give the sandwich still a really good score, like an 8.5 out of 10.
Now that you mention it, I feel like I have always seen Lox served as like two open face.
Yeah. When
things.
I've gone to other places, that's how I've had it served at least. It's just
Right.
like open face. But it makes sense why it wasn't here. This is like a sandwich place and they're wrapping it up and they're super busy.
I was
So
gonna
they're
say
just trying to
super
get
busy.
They're not
orders
gonna
out the
plate
door.
it.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's like the two bagels are facing up.
Yeah.
And everything's
Rather
on top.
than having
Okay.
it like them pressed together like a sandwich, it would just be two bagels next to each other on a plate with the toppings on top.
That also
Okay.
explains when I saw you open it, I was like, wow, that seems like a lot of the Lox piled onto each other because it's like the two servings, but just in sandwich form.
Yeah. So I could even just order that sandwich and then take it apart myself if I want to, so I
Right.
can focus more on the Lox. Overall, still delicious. All the ingredients were fresh. Would recommend. And then I also got the pickle. And the pickle was slightly spicy pickle,
Forgot.
which gave it a nice accent to the pickle.
Mhm.
It was like towards the end, like whenever you would eat it, you just have like just a little spice.
A little aftertaste kick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was crunchy and it was perfect.
8 out of 10 on the pickle.
Nice.
9 out of 10 on the pickle. Good pickle.
Ooh. Should we talk about your drink?
Oh, I was like, that's all I got. But David keeps looking at me like I got more things.
Because I also got the same drink. I was like, I'll let Sam talk about it.
Yes, David and I ordered this drink. We got a blueberry mint lemonade. And when it came out, it was like super purple. I was
Yeah.
like, whoa, I wasn't expecting it to be this colored. But it just meant it had a lot of blueberry in it. And you could definitely taste the mint, which I appreciated. I really like when it's like an herby lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was more blueberry than lemonade, which David, you mentioned while we were there.
Yeah, because I mean, it definitely seems like they mash it with the skin on and everything.
Yeah.
Because it was.
I feel like it was very like tart. Is that the
Yes.
word?
Yeah.
Pulp.
And not just because it was lemonade.
No, luckily it was not pulpy. I wouldn't have liked
It
it if it was
wasn't.
pulpy.
Dang, I
As
would have loved
much?
some pulp.
But very good. I kind of wish it was more lemonade flavor, but I'm biased. I just love lemonade.
Yeah.
It was delicious. I'm still gonna give it 8.9 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Almost a 9, but just 0.1 off.
I think I would give it a 9 because I really did like the way that the blueberry took the lead. And like Sam said when it came out, I was like, it looks like agua de Jamaica or hibiscus tea, if anyone's familiar with that.
I've just never seen blueberry lemonade.
I know, and I think I was expecting like an artificially blue color for some reason, although that's like definitely not the vibe for this place.
It
Yeah.
was like
So-
a maroon color, right?
Yes, it was like a deep.
Like a
A
deep
deep purple.
maroon. I
Yeah.
feel like I was expecting like a light purple. Like if I would just more
Uh-huh.
lemonade with
Yes.
a dash of blueberries.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, big fan of that drink. I got that first because I ordered last, so they were all munching away. I was like, dang, their sandwiches look so good. I was just waiting for my boy to pull up.
Yeah, we did not wait for David to start eating.
And I went with the pastrami lunch sandwich. I got it on a sea salt and herb bagel. And the pastrami lunch sandwich comes with mustard, pickled onions, and Swiss cheese. I haven't had a bagel sandwich in a long time, I feel like. In college, it was a big thing because on campus, like one of the main eateries, like the oldest tradition place was called College Town Bagels. And so I would have bagels there every once in a while. So yeah, I haven't had a proper bagel sandwich, and in particular, pastrami. So I'm a big fan of pastrami. I don't always necessarily remember what it is, but I just know it's like a thick cut, like brisket meat that's like peppered, and I guess they use like coriander a lot. But this one in particular was a nice deep pink pastrami color, super nice smoked flavor on it. And I think the freshness of the herbs on the bagel really kind of complemented it all. And then the acidity from the pickle, the pickled onions, and the, how would you guys describe mustard? Like spicy. The spiciness of the mustard kind of helped balance out the strong, salty taste that is like pastrami. So I think it all worked really well. And you guys know me, sodium boy. So I'm a fan of all bagels that have like a visible rock salt on them. So
yeah.
I think that's like my ideal type of bagel. Herby, salty, whatever their dough is, they got it down. I've had New York City bagels and they say it's the best because of the water. I wonder if they
'Cause of the
transport water from New York. I've heard that
New
companies
York?
do that, but I don't know about this one in particular. All in all, to say, I give my sandwich experience a 9.
Nice.
So
Dang, all
9's
good ratings.
on the board. The pickle, I will say, you could tell was homemade. So I feel like, yeah, it had a little spiciness to it, but I'm going to give it a 7.5.
What?
I wasn't the biggest fan of the pickle. I think they could have done a little bit more with it. But all in all, with the whole experience, I'll definitely go back. Maybe not too soon. I will say the only thing holding this place back a bit is it is on the pricier side for a bagel sandwich. So you won't catch me there every weekend. But whenever I'm in the mood for a bagel, I can be happy knowing that it's a short walk away.
Yeah. I think next time I go, I'm gonna try one of those cream sodas. They had like cream sodas on the front, but I'm just like, it's too early to be drinking soda.
They had a good drink selection. Orange juice, a bunch of teas.
They had a lot of drinks.
They had San Pellegrinos,
They
those little
had
tart.
chocolate milk. I almost got
Oh
a
my
chocolate
God.
milk.
Next time I go, I want to try the salt and herb bagel. It looked really good, but I was like, I gotta go with the everything bagel because that's my favorite. I gotta see what it's about.
Yeah.
But I think the salt and herb bagel would complement my sandwich better. So I'd probably get the Lox still, but just with that bagel. Maybe that would bump up my rating to a true 9.
If I'm going back, I'm definitely getting the Italian styling. It looked like a treat.
Cool.
But
We
yeah.
all have stuff we want to try when we go back. So
Excellent.
we're definitely
Loki
going
might go back
again.
like
Next weekend.
next weekend. It was so good.
A week away is long enough.
Yeah.
My wallet can handle that.
And
I just won't buy Starbucks one day this week.
no avocado toast.
Yeah.
They also had really cool, from what it looked like, merch. They had
Oh
a cool
yeah,
shirt.
I bought a little
Yeah.
pin.
Sam
Their
got a
logo
pin.
is super cute because it's a little fish.
And
And it's a draw, like a fish you would draw, like a little kid would draw
Like a
a fish,
cartoon,
but
yeah.
it's so cute.
And it was cool because if you looked into the kitchen, you could see them actually making the bagels, like the dough forming the shape and everything.
Like boiling the dough and stuff.
Yeah. And the reason there's no bagel holes like there is donut holes is because they're not cutting out a hole from the middle.
Right, they're
like
shaping
making
it.
they're shaping it out into that shape already. So that's why there's no bagel holes, guys.
yeah.
Imagine this place served donuts.
Yeah, how would you still
wanna-
like your
You
sandwiches
want me to
with
put
a
lox on
donut?
on a glazed donut?
You
Absolutely
freaks.
not.
Okay, don't tell me with a good time. I would destroy a donut pastrami sandwich.
No.
Shut
Chocolate sprinkles.
Point for bagels.
They would probably be putting different things inside,
Like what? Gummy
Yeah.
worms?
like
Ice
fried
cream?
chicken.
Blah.
Ooh,
What?
And a donut.
This is a
No.
fancy
Hell
place,
yeah.
Oscar. Don't bring your fried
Fried chicken can be fancy.
with glazed donut.
I will say, I did forget my roots a bit when we first had that discussion. You know, college town bagels, all that stuff, my college years. So there's a point to bagel sandwiches. But if we're comparing bagels to donuts, we're talking just bagel and cream cheese
No.
versus donut.
Shut
Bagel sandwich is a different
up.
thing.
Still bagel and cream cheese wins. But anyways.
I will say, on the spectrum, I forgot my roots. Sorry, Oscar, I'm leaning a little closer to bagel because of bagel sandwiches.
Yeah.
But I'm still donut boy.
The seesaw teeters a bit more towards bagels today.
Sea salt, thanks to the sea salt and herbs.
All
Oscar's look.
Oh.
Oscar wants to kill me with his eyes. No, I'm just kidding.
Oscar's like,
No loyalty these days.
It was a good sandwich, but I'm still team donut.
I'm gonna make you a batch of donuts tomorrow.
would you rather have gone to like a donut place today and you had a donut?
No.
Exactly.
Point for bagels.
Oscar's like, that was out of my control. It wasn't my dick.
He was like, it wasn't that good for real. He was licking his fingers.
It's like this debate's gonna get so heated. Me and Oscar are just gonna go back and forth. Donut shops. We're like, guys, we've gone to 4 donut shops in the last 8 weeks.
Stop.
But donuts.
Your donuts make me go nuts.
All right. I think that's enough. That's enough. Let's move on because it's time for our new favorite segment.
Guess that
movie. And this week, David has the movie that we gotta guess. So if you are not familiar with this little segment that we've started to do, David is going to read off the description of a movie, and we're going to have to just guess what it is based on that. And it's going to be good. It better be.
It better be. If y'all get it too quick, I'm gonna feel bad. But I try to keep it. I'm gonna shut up and read it. Okay, is everyone ready?
No.
Yep.
Bella, can I have some of your Coke?
Oh
She needs some
my.
caffeine.
She's been staring at it this whole time. Like
She can't
she's
critical
like,
think until she has
she's
some Coke.
SpongeBob when it's like, I don't need it. I don't need it.
I need it.
So good.
Oh my god.
She's like, there's no rum in it. That's delicious.
I just had an orgasm in my mouth.
She gives it back. Thanks, Bella. It's just like one sip left.
Oh, before we
It's so
continue, when we were
good.
at the bagel shop, there was some lady there getting ready to eat her bagel, and she just let out a loud moan for no reason.
Oh yeah, it was pretty uncomfortable.
Right,
Oh no, that was the lady walking up.
Oh, was she?
Like-
She just had run like a half marathon, and when she got to the place, I think she was just tired of
So
walking, so she
tired.
was like, ugh.
We're like, hey, yo.
And we all like looked at each other, but no one was saying anything when she did the moan. And I think her friend also was like, what the fuck? So she started laughing.
I should have walked into the establishment like, I'll have what she's having.
That would have been funny. Damn, too late.
All right. Everyone's had their coffee, coked up. Coca-Cola up.
I should have been like, Bella, can I have some of your Coke? Pass it on.
No
Everyone
rum.
thinks I'm about to drink it.
Okay. In an effort to...
Buzzer. No,
Yes, if anyone thinks they have it, feel free to text me. Or I have a couple hints, but
okay.
we'll see.
I'll let you go. No more jokes.
In an effort to redeem the honor of the ruler and the life of his master, who is framed as a criminal, a disgraced kid and his strongest allies set off from the kingdom to retrieve the holy treasure. It doesn't take long for them to realize they are not alone on their journey, and despite multiple brushes with death, the pair overcome all obstacles and return with the help of many unlikely characters along the way.
I think I got it.
Can you read the beginning again?
Yes.
Oh, I hate this.
In an effort to redeem the honor of the ruler and the life of his master, who is framed as a criminal, a disgraced kid and his strongest ally set off from the kingdom to retrieve the holy treasure.
Okay, pause. In an effort to restore the honor of the master. Is that what you said?
The ruler.
The ruler.
And the life of the master, who is framed as a criminal.
The life of the master is framed as the criminal.
Oh yeah, I think I definitely got it.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
is a movie that we've seen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know it too?
I don't know it.
Oh.
Okay, I figured at least one person would have it right off the bat.
Did you text it to him already?
I'm texting him right now.
But you and Oscar, you think we've seen this?
You've definitely seen it.
Okay, wait, can you repeat it again?
Yeah, one more time.
In an effort to redeem the honor of the ruler and the life of his master, who is framed as a criminal, a disgraced kid and his strongest allies set off from the kingdom to retrieve the holy treasure. It doesn't take long for them to realize they are not alone on their journey, and despite multiple brushes with death, the pair overcome all obstacles and return with the help of many unlikely characters along the way.
I'm trying to think of movies where, even kids' movies where someone's unrightly framed. But I can't think of any.
Do you guys want a hint?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot there
Okay.
were hints.
At their lowest point, the pair are powered up with magical armor, courtesy of the princess.
Wait.
Do you think you have it?
Ooh, I think I have it wrong, but
I have another hint that I think might...
okay.
Do you guys want the other hint too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The power of music ultimately
Okay.
saves the day.
Okay, I think I got it. Can I say it?
The power of music.
I had it after the first hint, but I
Yeah.
was like, the second one locks it in for me.
I was like... The
That's
second
a
hint...
good,
I've
that's a
seen
good
it.
pick. That's a good pick.
I was
Can
like,
I-
the second hint is vague still, but it's like if you had a hunch, it like kind of solidifies it.
Do you want me to give you a hint of what I think it is?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a line. Bigger boot.
Are you sure I've seen that?
We reference it literally every time we go to a restaurant. We make a reference.
Okay, you want a more obvious hint?
Yeah.
Fill her up, please.
Waiter!
SpongeBob?
Yep, the
SpongeBob
SpongeBob
movie.
SquarePants
I thought
movie.
about that, but I'm like, who was framed?
Mr.
Mr.
Krabs.
Krabs. Remember, he's frozen.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not remember that part. I guess I haven't seen it in such a long time because I thought about that when you were like two friends, and
The
then
kid. I almost called him a man, but then I remember in the movie he's like, "I'm just the kid. I'm not just the kid. I'm not just the kid."
And then once the princess gives them armor, I was like, it's the mustache.
The mustache.
Yeah. No, because when you said like the ruler and the master, I was like,
they're
oh yeah,
separate.
I know for sure which movie it is.
I was like, I can get away with saying kingdom, even
yeah.
though it's not.
Because the
there's a
master
kid.
is Plankton.
No, Mr. Krabs.
Mr. Krabs is the master, which is like the boss,
Oh.
and the ruler is King Neptune.
I guess I
Okay,
haven't
okay.
seen that movie in such a long time that like I don't remember like that happening to Mr. Crab.
Yeah, because like Plankton frames
Plankton
him.
frames Mr.
Mhm.
Krabs.
Yeah.
And so he gets
the
frozen.
king comes down and is pissed and freezes Mr.
Damn,
Krabs.
I need to watch
It's like,
rewatch that movie.
Like you almost forget that Mr. Krabs is in the movie because he's frozen the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, I
time.
remember it now. Okay. Yeah. I didn't remember back then, but I thought about SpongeBob, but I was like, I don't think anyone gets framed. But now I remember Mr. Krabs.
And then at the end,
That happened to Mr. Rock.
does that
When
one over
as
their
you were
helmets?
talking about it, I was like, now that we're men, we changed our underwear. But I was like, that can't be it.
I was like, those are the unlikely helpful people, the monsters that helped us.
Yeah.
And David Hasselhoff.
Dave Hasselhoff. At first, I was like, is this supposed to be like Lord of the Rings? Because I don't know Lord
And
of
you're
the
like,
Rings.
I've never seen
I thought
that.
about that too, or I thought about like I don't know. I thought about like Toy Story. I don't know.
I was like, yeah, the kingdom thing, I think will throw them off. They'll like instantly be like, all right, what's I thought someone would guess Shrek, but I guess no one was
Oh.
framed.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm trying to think of something where someone is
So was I.
framed. That's like the key part.
And I'm not gonna lie, the fact that y'all made a SpongeBob reference right before I read it, when Marisol's like, I'm like SpongeBob when he's like,
I
Sandy,
need it.
I need it. I was like,
I
I
don't
can't laugh
need
too
it.
hard at that, or it might be a hint right off the
Nah.
bat.
I don't think we would have associated
Yeah.
No,
it.
I don't think so.
But
It
I was
went
just
right
like,
over
If
our
anything,
heads.
I'm like, why is he not laughing?
Ooh.
well, that's why I was just like, dang, SpongeBob is gonna be top of mind, so I'm gonna get halfway through my thing and everyone's like, oh, I know what it is. That was what I was.
No,
nervous
it was
about.
good. If you guys didn't get it at home, it's the SpongeBob movie.
Woohoo! Thanks to the princess.
No, when you said that they meet a bunch of random people or whatever, I was like, oh yeah, I think this is a SpongeBob movie because of David Hasselhoff being in the end.
Mm.
And then when you repeated it, I heard the ruler king or whatever.
Ruler
part
and
again.
master.
Ruler and master. I was like, oh yeah, I just have to that movie.
It's like they're two separate things.
Two different people.
Yeah. Well, when you said all the people, like they meet unlikely people along the way, I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that makes me think it's a kid's movie, but I just don't know which one.
specifically?
Yeah.
Yay! I'm glad it's stumped some. Oscar got it right off the bat.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I was trying to think like, is it Mulan?
Is it
No.
Is it Mulan?
I'm like a kid. What
Right,
kid?
like a Empire.
All right. Well, that wraps up. Guess that movie.
Woo! We've all gone now, right?
No, Oscar
No,
still
I
hasn't
haven't.
gone.
Oh, you
He'll
still
be
haven't
next.
gone. Oh shit!
Next.
Oh,
episode.
shoot.
You better
sorry.
not forget.
Dang, now I can't wait to think of another one. I got a month.
They're so hard to think of.
I know.
But yeah.
It was some brain power. I was like, how'd I get the wording right? You know.
Mm-hmm. All right. So moving on, we've gotten our first voice message through this link in our
Ooh.
the link in our Instagram. You can leave us a voicemail. We had one of our listeners leave us a very controversial voicemail. It's gonna be controversial for us.
I'm excited to hear.
All right.
I listened to your guys' podcast from the 18th, and you guys just really love to hate on Arby's. And I think I found a correlation between people that actually enjoy Arby's. It's Arby's is for the hardworking manual laborer. I got like 25 guys here at this building that if you mention the word Arby's, their mouth will get watering like you mentioned a filet mignon in a steakhouse. That shit is so good after 4 hours of hard manual labor. So I think we can just safely deduce the fact that
Oh my
you guys just don't
god.
work hard enough to enjoy
Someone's
art.
fucking
No, you missed the
bombing.
ending. You can't be talking. Hold on. Listen.
So I think we can just safely deduce the fact that you guys just don't work hard enough to enjoy Arby's. Yeah, that's about it. Right, Ty?
Agreed.
We were trying to find a correlation between Arby's and people. We thought it was Monster Energy drinks. I think his fact pattern lines up, though.
Honestly, and I think that same group of people also loves Monsters, probably, if they're waking up early in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's people that like Monsters that don't necessarily do hard labor work.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's like
Monsters was too broad, but this helps narrow it down.
Yeah.
The population.
it's like a Venn diagram, you know.
Yep.
Hard workers like Monsters and Arby's, but not every Monster enjoyer or Arby's is a hard labor.
I'm just like, but like out of all the choices, why Arby's?
Yeah.
That's
You know how
my
many,
argument.
you know how many buildings you could build with McDonald's if you just ate McDonald's?
Like-
even as a manual laborer, you still have the same choices of fast
Right,
food as everyone
exactly.
else. Why would you pick
Why
Arby's?
Arby's?
Yeah, like I agree. Like if you have a long day of manual work,
You
whatever
really just
the first
wanna,
thing you eat is gonna be so good. But
Right.
why would you choose for Arby's when you could choose something better?
Exactly.
Here,
It's so
I-
depressing.
Maybe they need.
Don't say depressing. Damn.
I'm just saying. I'm just picturing like David's sandwich, the one that looked like the chump bucket sandwich.
The half pound of
Yes.
roast beef.
Like
Well, maybe
he's like,
not every-
man, oh man, I just worked so hard for 8 hours. Unwraps the sandwich and it's what David had.
I'm
I
saying,
would be like,
I'd be
that's
upset.
it.
Nobody's actually ordering half a pound of roast beef, though.
I don't know.
Then
These
what are
strong
they
men.
ordering?
These strong men.
They need their protein.
Yeah.
Maybe. All right. What were you
Right,
saying,
maybe
David?
that's what it is. Okay, another thing I was gonna say is being a hard laborer and having to get the project done in an efficient and quick manner. Maybe it's strategy. Maybe, like you said, there's 25 hard workers, mouth water at the thought of Arby's, and Arby's probably isn't very busy because everyone else goes to McDonald's or Burger King or else Taco Bell. All the people in their office jobs or
We
working
waited
from their
like 30
car.
minutes for our food. I think we waited like 30 minutes for our food when we went to Arby's.
Anyways, I'm still speaking. And so they're like, no one else is going to be there. There's 25 of us. They already have all this roast beef made. Feed us. So maybe it's a strategy thing.
I mean, that's a good point. If it's lunchtime and you're hungry and you just want something quick to eat and the only thing that looks empty is Arby's,
You're like, guys, we got to scramble in there, get our horsey sauce, and
get
skedaddle.
out.
So it ended up being just a result of the environment, but then they've like trained themselves to now
To
like
love
it.
it.
Yeah.
Mm.
And you got to give it up. Those curly fries are enough to get you in the door. Once you're in there, you're like,
Absolutely.
Yes.
I could go for a roast beef. I could go for a half pound.
Have you gotten a roast beef since that day?
Mm-mm.
Have you been back to Arby's
Yeah.
since then?
No.
Oh.
Pastrami's kind of like an elevated roast beef, so I guess
Yeah,
today,
when I saw your bagel today, I was like, damn, David, you get more roast beef?
I think it's like it has a similar flavor to roast beef, but it's like a briskety type thing and the thick cut.
Mm-hmm.
I guess pastrami is the office jobs Arby's. He really drove the point home too with all that hammering he had going on in
Literally,
the
with
back.
all of the manual labor construction noises behind, we were like, all right, we get it.
Well, it's funny because the caller who called in, I feel like he doesn't get the roast beef. He's got a different order.
No,
right?
he gets the chicken thing that I got, which still wasn't very good.
No,
It wasn't
Sam's like,
good. It still wasn't good. I don't know what to tell you.
I will
Don't know
say,
what to tell you. I guess that's my follow-up question for you, listener, and all the manual hard labor workers out there. Is Arby's your favorite fast food place, or do you have another preferred fast food place?
no one was raving for Arby's from our listeners, so hopefully, I don't know. We'll see if
So,
anyone
like-
responds this way.
So it's like even if you like it, it's probably not your favorite.
Like, it's not going to be your first choice, is it? Let me know. Is Arby's your first choice to go
Never.
to?
I want to meet one of these people. It's probably a unicorn.
I will say again, I think the one we went to was just not
Not well
not
managed.
well managed at all. I wonder if
They're about to fight in the kitchen.
I was like, I just want my half pound of roast beef, please, and a slice of cheese.
And boy, did they give you
They
that
delivered.
roast
I was
beef.
like, it's gray. I thought it was supposed to be pink, right? What color is roast beef supposed to be? Golly.
Right, because I've been to like Burger King, like where it's so poorly managed and they take forever, and then I've been to a different one where it's like comes out fresh and it's like the cheese is melted on.
So how's BK5?
BK5.
Where does that fall on the graph of well managed or not?
So BK5 is the Burger King on Fifth Avenue. It's has a reputation for being one of the worst food establishments in Columbus. I've had positive experiences there, but usually when I go, there's nobody there. So I think it helps. You know, if you're only getting one order, it's kind of hard to mess it up.
Yeah.
I will say, I have gone.
David has plenty of experience with BK5.
Again, as I said on a previous episode, I'm easily marketable too. If they said they had a rewards week the other week and they were like, come 5 times and we'll give you gibbets for your Crocs. And I was like, okay. And I was there no matter what. But anyways, I will say, even when I was the only person in line, sometimes they would be like, and it would just be like a Whopper meal or something. And they'd be like, oh, can you pull up to this section and we'll walk it out to you once it's ready?
Because they weren't prepared to give it to you.
And I was like, I guess. And I pulled up, but during this whole time, there was no car behind me. So I could have just waited at the window. Like, I didn't mind. So I don't know. Maybe they're shy. Maybe they won't want me to see them making it. But
I mean, I've been fortunate that it has not been my worst BK experience, because there's another BK in Columbus that on 2 separate occasions, I ordered a double cheeseburger and they gave me a single cheeseburger.
Ooh.
How dare
Yeah,
they?
that one actually, I ordered a Hershey's pie because I was like, you know what? I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to have some dessert. And they forgot the whole freaking Hershey's pie. I was pretty sad. So
no.
level point for BK5. They have given me the wrong item before, but they've given me an item at least.
So is the other one the one near the highway? Like,
Yeah.
The other one,
Like on
the
11th?
one over, the other one on 5th.
yeah,
Oh,
I
it is
think
on
it
Fifth,
is
isn't
on
it?
Fifth.
In Cleveland, right?
Oh, maybe
Is it
we don't know
Cleveland?
which one the Reddit post is talking about then.
that's true.
Which
Oh.
BK5?
Maybe
There
the
are
other
2 BK5s.
Because I was thinking of the one by
In
the
Grandview.
Fusion. Yeah, in Grandview.
No, that one's definitely. When I was thinking of the 2, I was thinking the one in Grandview was better.
because
They are both
Mind
on Fifth.
blown.
Well,
There are
because-
2 BK5s.
because the other one, the one that's by the freeway, that one has actually given me the best Whopper I've ever had in my life.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like, they put a little bit of extra salt and pepper on it, and I was like, damn, this thing is packing flavor today.
But that's the same one that give you the single patty instead of double?
No, it was
Oh.
like completely different burger. It went like more north.
Oh, okay.
Dang, they gave you the best Whopper.
Yeah.
They put their whole Burger Kingussy in that.
Yeah.
I did go late. It was like, what time do they close?
I'll be darned. I'm not sure. I feel like
Because it was like 10:30 or 11. Actually, that Burger King parking lot does suck. And the drive-thru sucks.
It's really
Like, they have a
rough.
speed bump right at the window. So you have to like pull a little bit too far past the window.
That's
or
like
else you're like elevated.
That's like
Yeah.
the Dunkin' Donuts in Painesville.
Yeah, that
That's
turn
exactly
is so
like that.
sharp, and it's
there's
like
a speed bump there.
And it's so hard to get out of that parking lot. And I guess there's been a few shootings that have happened there.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
probably the worst part.
Not while I've been there, but
I'm guessing that's the BK5 they were referring to
Yeah.
when we read it was the worst one. Sorry, Grandview BK5.
We apologize. Yes, you forgot an item or gave me the wrong. I ordered the spicy and they gave me a regular. Whoop-de-doo. It's fine.
Dude. Now I want a Hershey pie.
We there?
We there?
We stopped the pod.
And we're back. We're like chewing. So good.
This Hershey pie.
Mm.
I wish. No, we have a bunch of brownies and cookies downstairs,
Oh, that's
guys.
true.
Yeah.
The brownies are good.
They are good.
Brownies
Don't be a
taste like
hater.
caca doo to caca.
No, they don't. They're
And they look like it
good
too.
brownies. They look.
They're
They
mushy.
tasted like my ideal brownie. And you're
Right,
Just
wait.
dramatic.
We never unpacked it. Marisol, what is your ideal brownie? Why did this one not deliver? I feel
I'll
like it.
tell you what my perfect brownie is.
Mhm.
Is it gonna have nuts?
No. It's Ghirardelli's brownies.
That doesn't help me. I've never had that.
Me neither.
I'm pretty sure I've brought it here. Yes, I have. I've made it before to like Friendsgiving, I think. I brought it one year.
And you've made it a couple times.
Yeah, and it's good.
Describe it.
It's like the consistency, it's not too thick, but it's not smushy either. And it's like fluffy on the top, and the side corners are the best. They're very chocolatey. It's not like a fake chocolate taste. It's like true, authentic chocolate.
Ghirardelli chocolate.
Yes.
Do they have chocolate chips in them too? I
They
feel like they do, right?
Yes.
So they're
they
not
do.
nuts, but there is kind of that little
Crunch.
A
Crunchiness.
different texture.
a little
Yes.
texture, yeah. And the ones you brought didn't have
No,
anything?
I don't like brownies with different textures in them. I want it to be like a
Fudgy.
creamy, fudgy
I don't like
brownie.
fudgy. I guess that's
okay.
what.
Okay. That explains it.
Yeah, I don't like fudge. That's why I just don't like fudge.
I don't like fudge, but I like a thick,
Fudgy
creamy
or
brownie.
brownie,
I
Yeah.
don't like fudge, and I don't like the fudge consistent.
See,
So
I like the two ends of the spectrums of brownies. Like I like the really fudgy brownies, and I like the ones that are like a little bit like crusty and then
Mhm.
like soft on the inside.
we're like,
And this one was like right in the middle, which is why I think I didn't like it.
oh.
I thought this was on the other
So
side.
you
No.
didn't
The
like it. Did
fudgy
you
one.
like it?
I think it could be
I
more
like-
fudgy.
I liked it, but I think Oscar's right. It could be more fudgy, but I can see why Sam likes it because it is softer. And there was like no hard, like top crust. There was no top crust.
at all. There were
Yeah.
no crunchy parts.
No
which
corner
I don't
edge
want
pieces.
Crunchy parts.
And I do love the crunchy parts. I do like the corner pieces.
Like I think of like the homemade brownies when like the top layer is like hard.
Yep.
Yeah, I like
No,
that.
I don't want
I,
that.
I like
love it.
those.
I'll tolerate it because it's still gonna taste good, but I'm like, I'd rather it just be
Eat the inside.
nice and mushed all the way.
I like those because I like my brownies with oat milk or some milk
Bella,
type.
go bring me a brownie, please.
Yes, me too.
Thank
Me
you.
too.
Bring me some water
'Cause-
too.
Yeah, because I guess I do agree with Marisol. Because this one, it feels like I'm just eating the middle part, and there's no crunch to it.
Mm-hmm.
Bella,
Thickness.
can you bring me some water too? Thank you.
Don't you have water right next to
Yeah,
you?
but I know if I'm eating a brownie, I'm going to drink it up. I do like the top crust of a homemade brownie because it gives me structure to dip it in the milk, is what I was getting at. And like it still holds, and then when you bite it, it's nice and soft on the inside. And chocolate chips, I will take. Even nuts. I will
David's
take.
just like, I love every brownie.
Honestly-
I don't discriminate. Any brownie you give me is gonna be great.
That's
He
true.
literally just said he likes all of them.
I also
In the
don't-
most roundabout way. Yes, I guess you could say I don't discriminate against brownies.
I also don't like the Hershey's pie thingy.
Oscar's about to
Blasphemy.
fight you.
That's
Yeah.
blasphemy.
I just don't like chocolate stuff like that. I think brownie is the only thing that I will like that's like all chocolate.
But the little bottom chocolatey crust
Oh
of the
my
Hershey's
gosh.
pie,
No,
and
it's
then the
too
nice
much.
soft mousse on top.
Yeah.
It's too much.
I need a Hershey's pie.
Like I will
Golly.
break the corners of the box so that I can get all of the bottom chocolate crust.
And
like,
it makes like a
yeah.
nice little a nice plate.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna let any of it get stuck in the corner.
Mhm. Yeah, that boy's getting devoured. You know they sell like chocolate pies like that in stores.
I have seen
Yes,
that.
I've
What-
seen them.
One time I went over to grandma's house and one of our cousins had bought one. He's like, "Y'all want a slice?" And I was like, "This is just like a Hershey's pie." And he was like, "Yeah, that's why I bought it." I was like, "Dang."
Yeah, I think they just buy that and then put it in individual,
individual
packaging.
things. That's true. So good. Recommend. Support your local BK and get yourself a Hershey's pie. Yeah, so what? They're $2. They're a little overpriced, but it's worth it.
All right. Let's move along. This is the last episode of our spooky series.
Wah.
Ooh.
Boo.
Ah!
Wait, never mind.
What are you gonna do?
I was
Scream?
gonna do my best like horror movie scream.
Shriek.
We'll put the microphone a little farther away then.
Caw-caw.
All right. Pretend you just walked into the house and the lights are off and you for some reason I'm sitting on the couch and you get scared. And also murder.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was my horror movie scream.
Spooky season.
Sam has a good mwahaha laugh.
Me?
Yeah.
Do an evil laugh.
No, I can't do it. When
Oh.
do I ever mwahaha?
Sometimes you just do it when like you're like we're like talking about doing something else and she's like, no, we should do this, and somehow she convinces us to do whatever she wants
Yeah,
to
and
do.
then
Yeah.
I go,
Yeah. It's a more like a, not like a murderous evil, but just like a
I got my way
Yeah.
again.
That's a good point. Sam does hit that sometimes. I'm like, rats, she got us, but we're already like committed to doing that thing. I'm like, golly,
But then
she
like
got us
at
again.
that point
You
I
know
just
me.
don't care to like
Argue with it.
to argue with it. I'm like, fuck it. Let's
Once
just...
I get everyone to agree that I were just walking into myself, I'm just.
I was like, Sam, we can
You
hear
guys
you.
are like, dang!
We can hear you, Sam.
I'm like, we're already on our way. Sorry.
She's driving too, so we're like, dang it, we can't stop.
So for our last spooky episode, we decided we want to talk about serial killers.
Ooh.
Dun, dun,
Oh,
dun.
someone's walking in now. They're going to kill us. Oh, it's Bella.
So we thought about doing ghosts as a topic, but we've actually already done that. I think episode 4. So if you want to listen to us talk about any ghost experience we've had, also some just like paranormal or what is the other word?
Cryptids,
Supernatural.
Cryptids, supernatural, aliens.
tall tales,
It's
What
like
are
a
we talking
P
about?
word, but it's not paranormal. Phenomena.
phenomena.
We talk about more phenomena. Go back to our episodes and listen to episode 4. I believe that's when maybe episode 5.
Just listen
Let
to
me-
Both
Let me
Let
just
us
Listen to
know.
all of our
Double check,
episodes
double check.
again.
Yeah, just listen to them all again.
casually.
No life them. Don't go to work. Listen.
Binge
bathe.
all of them.
Lay in bed. Close your eyes. Enjoy.
It's episode 5 when we went to 4th and State. If you want to listen, go back. And also just listen to all of our episodes because why not? Come on.
What else you got to do?
Come on.
Leave us a message. Leave a voicemail.
Did we talk about that after the meet?
After the meat industry, because then we were like, woof, that was the real downer. What do we talk about now?
Like ghosts? The ghosts of all the cows?
That'll cheer you up.
Yeah. So each of us did a little bit of research on a serial killer, and we're just gonna retell the tale of what they've done and talk about it. Who wants to go first? Not me.
I think Sam should go last. She seemed like
She's
hers
about
was
to eat
gruesome.
her fudgy ass brownie.
Yeah, I'm eating a brownie, so I want to go last.
Yeah, I want to go not first. I need a
Okay,
brownie.
I can go.
Trigger warning, this whole episode is about serial killers and includes talk of murder, sexual assault, and crimes. And there's one story in particular that's crimes against children.
All right, let's see what Marisol has to say.
For my serial killer, I chose me.
Tell us. We won't tell the cops. What'd you do?
Okay. For my serial killer, I chose Robert Hansen. Has anyone heard of him?
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay. He's this dude born in Iowa, lived in Alaska. Okay. Robert Hansen was an American serial killer that hunted his victims like animals. You guys gotta go like,
Mm.
In the 1970s and the 1980s, Robert would abduct women only to turn them loose in the Alaskan wild. These women were normally like prostitutes or like strippers. He would then hunt them for hours and sometimes even days. But one day in 1983, a 17-year-old girl named Cindy Paulson was found running down the street frantically in handcuffs. Thankfully, she was picked up by a driver and taken to a police where she gave her story. She said that she was held hostage by a man who'd handcuffed her to his car, held her at gunpoint, and took her to his house where he chained her up by the neck. The man raped and tortured her repeatedly before attempting to load her onto his plane and take her to his cabin. As the man prepared the plane for takeoff, Cindy managed to escape, leaving her shoe behind as evidence.
A Cinderella story?
Oh.
A dark Cinderella story. Soon after Cindy's escape, police started finding bodies close to Robert's cabin. And after obtaining a warrant to search his property, police found a map marking tiny X's. There were 24 X's in total, and And they said that this represented the places where he'd either killed the women or buried them. They also found items belonging to the victims in his house. So he was keeping them as like souvenirs.
Oh gosh.
He was sentenced to 461 years in prison. He was given the nickname of the Butcher Baker because he also owned a local bakery.
Would he bake them?
No.
Sweeney Todd.
No, I think he said he killed at least like 17 women,
Whoa.
but only like they only found like 4 bodies. So they could that's why he has like 461 years prison.
Right, because they're all like life sentences probably.
He died in prison at the age of 75, I believe. But yeah, he was hunting them. It was like, that's scary.
I feel like I've seen like, maybe I haven't seen the movies, but there's movies like with this concept.
I think they made a movie about this. I don't know if it's on Netflix or where it's on.
Isn't there also a story we would read like in high school?
The Most Dangerous Game.
Yeah, that rings a bell.
Yeah, so I don't think they were necessarily kidnapping women and like hunting them. I was actually just looking up a summary of The Most Dangerous Game. Just from the brief sentences I read, I think it might be 2 hunters are like on an island together, and then one of them wants to leave, and the other one's like, I'm gonna hunt you instead.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and also we saw the movie The Menu, and it's kind of like there's some hunting of humans in that too.
Mm-hmm.
Good
But
movie.
I wonder if this person read The Most Dangerous Game, because I think The Most Dangerous Game is older than whenever those crimes
Super
happened,
old.
and was like, I want to try that.
Maybe. I think he had a lot of mental issues going on, but they talked a little bit about like his childhood. His dad was also a baker, and they had a bakery, and he would work and had his bakery, but he had like a tough like childhood, or like being a teen. Like he had like a lot of acne and didn't have like good teeth, so people would make fun of him a lot. So he was very like isolated, and I think he also suffered from like major depression. So I don't know.
In Alaska?
In Alaska,
There's like
yeah.
no sun half the year. Ain't shit to do in Alaska.
Yeah, and his thing was like hunting, and so he enjoyed hunting animals a lot. So it's kind of scary because like living in America, I think a big part of like American culture is like how they love to hunt. So I'm like, I wonder how many of those people have thought about hunting people.
Right. Even as a passing thought, like,
Yeah.
it's not that big of a leap to be like.
Because isn't that one of the signs of like being like a serial killer or a murderer? Is that
It's
like
like
you
you-
love
like
hunting
sadistic
animals or hurting
torturing
animals?
them.
No, I
as
don't
a
think it's
kid.
necessarily hunting animals. It's like torturing
Yeah.
animals.
Torturing animals. Or you get
Hurting
pleasure.
animals, yeah. Whereas hunting, I don't think everyone that's a hunter has necessarily
No.
those
No.
those serial
Yeah.
killer.
But what if like that's how
tendencies.
they hide their like
I think you can
Oh,
hide it that way.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I
or
think
that's how it can start.
people that like to hunt
Dun, dun,
is
dun.
more like
It's the sport.
a sport.
It's
yeah.
more, there's
It's-
regulations and stuff
yes.
like that.
It's like knowing that you can actually track this animal.
Track an animal, like you
Eat
can
it.
survive basically in the wilderness
Yeah.
versus like I want to kill this animal because I want it to suffer.
Because if you
Yeah.
like to hunt, the killing part is probably just the reward for all your work. Because you just
And the
have
food.
I guess. I know nothing about hunting. Hunting.
Do you think you would survive being hunted?
Oh.
No, I wouldn't.
No.
I mean, I guess
No,
it
I
depends.
wouldn't.
How good is this hunter?
I think because I don't know. I feel like my flight or fear. Is it flight or fear?
Fight or flight.
fight
Fight or flight.
instincts.
Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty quick on my feet when like I feel like I'm in danger.
Hmm.
I feel like I would give a good fight. I don't know if I would survive. I think that's just kind of like a luck thing, to be honest.
Yeah, and
That's
especially
true.
because like he has a gun, you don't have a gun.
Yeah, I think everything has to be like matched perfectly for in order for you to actually escape.
And like home field territory, like he
Yeah.
knows the area, presumably.
Yeah,
You're
He's
literally
cheating.
like, where the
Yes.
hell am I?
Yeah, like
Home
what
field
if she was
advantage.
like running and it just so happens there was no cards like going through at that
Yeah.
moment.
It was like a
So
stroke of luck.
I think it was like her being lucky, but she's obviously not lucky. She had
Very
so
unlucky.
much trauma. Yeah, she was raped and like tortured. So
And just think about the other victims. They probably ran in the other direction.
yeah,
Yep. messed up. How many people total did you say?
They said at least 17
Damn.
women. Mm-hmm.
I've always wondered, you know how like it's sometimes a thing where if someone's already in trial or serving life sentences, they'll claim other killings.
Yeah.
Which is like, yeah, of course the family gets justice, like some closure. But I've always wondered, like, I wonder if there's just like an egotistical serial killer who's like, I killed that person and I didn't.
Oh, absolutely.
And
I think
then-
that's a common thing with serial killers is like once they
they're
get caught, they'll be like they'll have evidence. Police will have evidence. Maybe they killed 10 people, and the serial killer's like, I actually killed like 50, but you don't
Right.
know all the rest of them. And like could be lying, and they just
Yeah.
want to like be kept alive longer in case they ever reveal the identity of the remaining people they killed, because then that would close other cases. But I think even when they claim other murders, I don't know if they're allowed to close the case just on the word of what they say.
Right,
Like I
'cause
think
they
the
could say
police
anything.
would still need to be like, well, you have to show me evidence to prove you did that, or else
DNA.
it's still going to be an open case.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense because I was like, dang, wouldn't that be messed up if they gave them the credit, but then there's like a loose killer still like probably pissed, like, dang, they took my credit.
Yeah, no, I think oftentimes they still need to prove they did
Yeah.
that. Like you'd have to be like, tell me where the body is, or tell me something no one else knows, and stuff
Right.
like that.
Guilty without a doubt.
Yeah, I feel like it depends on how like careful they are. Like, what is the word? Methodical. Like,
Mhm.
the more they think about it and the more precise they are, when they get caught, they're probably gonna like just want to show how good they are. Like you say, yeah, you only caught 14, but I've got more.
Yeah.
And it's just like at that point they're already fucked. So it's like, let me show you how great I am at this.
And it's like a lot of them have MOs, like things that they'll do. Like they'll leave signs or things. Like the smiley face killer, supposedly.
Dun, dun, dun.
Man, they'd just be so egotistical that they're like, I'm going to leave clues so that they know that it's all me.
This
You know?
guy, also this guy's bakery must been like popping because he had a plane and he had his own like cabin home.
Goodness.
Like
Well,
damn.
He was living in Alaska, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's probably more common there.
Yeah, but even if to
probably
buy a
find-
plane,
Probably find it on cheap.
A cheap plane.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, it's probably a small plane.
Yeah, like a
Peop-
two-person.
There's people that own planes casually. I mean,
Yeah.
they're still wealthy, but
yeah.
not like.
It's like
I
people
don't think you have to be a millionaire necessarily.
yeah, it's like people that have a boat. Like, you don't have to have the biggest, expensivest boat.
Yeah.
And I guess in Alaska, what the heck else are you spending your money on?
Yeah,
I guess.
Save up for a plane.
I can go. So I'm gonna talk about probably one of the most well-known killers, the Zodiac killer.
I knew he was gonna pick that. I was waiting. I love like the phenomena of the Zodiac killer.
I've heard of
Yeah.
him, but I've never actually know what happened.
Have you seen
So-
Zodiac? Is that the one with
Robert Downey
Gyllenhaal?
Jr. Oh,
Or is it Robert Downey Jr.? I think there's one with it's also been so long I forget
I don't
who's
know.
I have
Who's
not seen the movie if there's been the movie.
it was
But
pretty good.
yeah, the Zodiac killer is the pseudonym that they've given to an unidentified serial killer. He operated in Northern California in the late 1960s. He's probably the most well-known, is the most well-known case in like popular culture.
And Unsolved still, right?
Yeah, and unsolved. They've never been able to point
Well, that's scary.
The
I don't want to hear
murders.
this. I'm gonna get killed.
on
That's
a
from the
specific
60s.
person.
before Oscar jumps in, it is both Jake Gyllenhaal and Robert Downey
Okay,
Jr.
okay, I
in the
knew.
movie.
I knew I wasn't wilding.
So I'm getting all my info here from Wikipedia. They have 5 confirmed dead victims and 2 injured, and they suspect that there was possibly 20 to 28 other dead victims. But the Zodiac killer claimed to have had 37 others.
There we go.
The ones that they did confirm were in California, but they have linked them to some possibly in Nevada. And they were all mostly in the San Francisco Bay Area for the California ones. It's really well known because he was never caught, and he left a lot of clues behind for both the police and like newspaper outlets, where he's like, hey, if you don't post this message, I'm going to kill another person.
Mm-hmm.
And so they say he communicated with the police and newspaper up until 1974. The case remains inactive. I think it remains inactive in San Francisco, but there's this one city, it's still open in Vallejo. But the reason I was bringing him up specifically is because I think when one of the scariest serial killers you can think of is one that you don't know about. Like, we talked about that smiley face killer the other day, and it's scary to think, oh, we know this person has killed, and if they look for specific type of people and you fit that characteristic, then it's even scarier. Like, do I really want to be out on the street at 2 a.m.?
Right, I could be the next one.
Exactly.
Wait, did you say like what exactly he would do?
No, I didn't really go into
Okay,
it.
because I don't know
Let's
who
see.
he is. Is there like a short?
Yeah, Oscar, you didn't have a summary.
No.
I was waiting for like the part.
Well, it's like the big thing with him is just that he would leave a lot of clues, and they were all like hidden messages or something, right? So they had to like decipher them.
Yeah.
Let's see, because it says the first murders widely attributed to the Zodiac Killer were the shootings of high school students Betty Lou Jensen and David Arthur Faraday on December 20, 1968. Around 10:15 p.m., Faraday parked his mother's Rambler in a gravel turnout, which was well known as Lover's Lane. Shortly after 11 p.m., their bodies were found by Stella Borgs, who lived nearby. Solon County Sheriff's Department investigated the crime, but no leads developed. Using forensic data, Robert Great-Smith later speculated in his 1976 account that another car pulled into the turnout just prior to 11 p.m. and parked beside the couple. The killer may have exited the second car and walked toward the Rambler, possibly ordering the couple out of it. It appeared that Jensen had exited the car first, but then Faraday was halfway out. The killer shot him in the head. The killer shot Jensen 5 times in the back as she fled. Her body was found 28 feet from the car. The killer drove off after this.
Yeah, so essentially I think he just killed people with a gun. He just like find people that were in cars or alone and murder them. And the thing of like the clues that he would send, he was sending letters with codes in them or ciphers, and you had to like basically figure out what the letter even was saying. You had to figure out what, like, crack the code basically, like what is like the method that he's using to create these monikers or whatever, and like how can we translate it. So I think in like the movie they post those, and then like the public would help solve them.
Yeah, like I think this is what he's.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and so he just became super famous, even though obviously not being known.
Yeah, because think about, you're like a newspaper. One, you're being forced to post this letter, but then two, you're like, hey, can anyone help us figure out what this says?
Yeah. And I'm sure their ratings were good too. You know? Looking at the capitalism side of it.
Yeah. So here's the first letters from the Zodiac. Quote, I like killing people because it is so much fun. It is more fun than killing wild game in the forest because man is the most dangerous animal of all to kill something. Gives me the most thrilling experience. It is even better than getting your rocks off with a girl. The best part of it is that when I die, I will be reborn in paradise, and all that I have killed will become my slaves, and I will not give you my name because you will try to slow down or atop my collecting of slaves for my afterlife. I don't know what this word is supposed to be. I don't know. It was just a bunch of gibberish. End quote.
They didn't solve that.
I don't think so.
So did he name himself the Zodiac Killer, or was it just because of the symbols and stuff that he used?
I think just
I think of the symbols.
Yeah.
Let's see. It says the meaning, if any, of the final 18 letters has not been determined.
18.
Wow.
That's why it was a bunch of gibberish.
Oh, they know who it is.
No, I think they suspect.
They've
know
had
who
a
it
couple
is.
people that they suspected and have died since.
Yeah.
On May of this year, FBI has identified Zodiac Killer as Air Force veteran Gary Francis, who died in 2018, and has partial DNA samples that could link him to 5 serial murders. Cold cases investigator claims.
So that's still
Yeah, I think they've been talking about that Francis
Yeah.
guy for years.
So this is one thing I wanted to bring up is like they're saying his name is Gary Francis Post, and this is like who most people I guess now believe to be
Associate,
the
yeah.
Zodiac killer. And it's funny because it was either like on a YouTube video or an article before Gary died. It was like about a different serial killer that was like, this is the most prolific, like biggest serial killer ever. And then Gary Post commented like, he's not the biggest, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, I think I
like there
remember
was
seeing
like
that.
a comment of Gary Post putting that. And then like years later when people were like, we think Gary Post is a serial killer, they found that comment and they're like, damn, he was salty. They were thinking someone else is a better serial killer than him.
Literally in that letter, he's like, someone's gonna try to top my whatever record or whatever. So he was getting jealous.
See, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like these people have like pride. Like they like they have pride in what they do, and it's like, you know, he right there, he felt challenged. Like that guy's not better than me. If you know he was the killer.
Also crazy because he was probably old as heck using social media. Crazy.
Well, I mean, he didn't die until 2018. And we've had social media for so long at that point.
They're all like, oh, this old geezer.
YouTube got big in the 2000s.
Hey, all those old people like using Facebook.
Yep.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this old geezer. What does he know about murderers? Come to find out, he could be the Zodiac.
Scary.
But he's dead, so that's crazy.
Yeah, but how many people out there think the same? A lot. Psychopath.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Yeah.
What makes you think? How many serial killers are there out right now that we don't know about?
Just like you brush shoulders with them on a night out or something.
Right.
Gary, don't stay on a
like
night
any-
out. You're going to make me stay in my house forever.
I just feel like at any moment, like, something can just, like, flip the switch on them, and then they kill their first person.
Yep. What about the serial killers that they don't even know they're a serial killer
Yeah,
yet?
I feel like serial killers only get caught after their 10th murder.
Right.
Because they
get
just
snapped.
keep
Not
doing
like
it.
But what about those people that kill one person and then get caught? Never
Like-
given an opportunity to become a serial killer. Sloppy.
But I feel like it's because they have sloppy work.
Maybe.
Hey, man, it's their first time. Cut them some slack.
But
they'll get back out
feel
there.
like
They'll get it
real
together.
like mentally ill
Yeah.
serial killers kind of research it, how to
Well,
get away with it.
well, this conversation makes me think of American Psycho.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Because like when I'm gonna spoil the movie, I guess, a little bit.
Spoiler
but,
for American
Spoiler
Psycho.
alert.
If you haven't seen
old ass movie.
the
Spoiler
old ass
alert.
classic American Psycho,
Spoiler alert.
skip ahead.
Like, so he kills a few people throughout the movie, and then at the end, he's like talking to his lawyer or some guy, and he's like, "I murdered this guy." He's like, "No, you didn't. He's out in London. Get over yourself."
And he's like, I'm the one pretending to be him in London.
Yeah. And so it's like makes you like when that movie ended, I thought to myself, did these scenes happen and you know he actually killed these people, or were these just his thoughts that he's been suppressing the entire time?
Right.
And it's like, how many people out there have these thoughts and don't act on them?
Yeah.
Whereas like the serial killers are the ones actually acting on them.
Well, I think the whole point is people will have dark thoughts, but you know that you shouldn't act on them. But I think if you're a psychopath, you don't have that barrier.
You start to mix
Right,
reality with your fantasies. So I think that's definitely exactly what was happening in American Psycho, and what's meant to confuse the viewers is you don't know, is this fantasy in his mind, is this real life? Just he doesn't know.
Right.
Also, my bad. I totally thought we were talking about Psycho, the Alfred Hitchcock movie.
Yeah, it was
I
I don't think they do that noise in American
No,
Psycho.
that's in Psycho. My bad. That's why I said old ass movie, because that movie's from the 60s.
I've never seen
Psycho's
American Psycho,
older,
so.
but it's
With Christian Bale.
old.
Yes, Christian Bale. American Psycho is still an old movie.
Yeah.
Dude, he doesn't look any different.
No, he's aged. Well, I mean, he looks a little older.
Like-
He's got
like-
a beard now too, I
yeah.
think. But he's aged gracefully.
Like his face looks the same.
Ooh, American Psycho?
Yeah,
Christian
Christian
Bale.
Bale.
Oh.
Because yeah, like he does have that young person body. Like he's really thin in that movie.
Was that like probably pretty early in his career, right?
I would think.
Mm.
Yeah.
He's been in the game for a long time.
Good movie.
Yeah.
So the serial killer I dived into was the serial killer known as the Night Stalker, or Richard Ramirez. So if anyone's deep into the true crime serial killer game, you've probably seen some documentaries of him. There's, I guess, a Netflix one, courtesy of Esquire. Richard Ramirez was born in El Paso, Texas in 1960 and was the youngest of 5 siblings, according to the New York Times. When Richard's cousin Miguel Ramirez returned home from the Vietnam War, when Richard was 12, he showed him photos of Vietnamese women he said he had raped, tortured, and killed. When Richard Ramirez was 13, he witnessed his cousin shoot his wife in the face, killing her. I read later that the dude didn't get tried and for insanity, and he got released in 4 years. Why? I don't know. But after dropping out of school, Richard Ramirez moved to Los Angeles when he was 15, got into drugs, was arrested twice for grand theft auto in 1981 and 84. So had a troubled upbringing. I think his parents or his father was like abusive. So, they say that's how a lot of serial killers start. Tough childhood. Particularly, they say being abandoned by parents, particularly the mother. That's rough. But anyways, when he was 24 years old, was when he had his first murder. So he would break into homes at night, attacking men, women, and children. He did not discriminate. He would sexually assault them, mutilate, and murder innocent Californians. He would often leave pentagrams or other occult symbols on the walls of his crime scenes and would torture them with knives, iron, the whole works. He would do it all. His photo was released to the media and he was arrested at the end of the summer of 1985. So I think it was from spring 1984 to the end of summer 1985. So he had like a whole year where he was just terrorizing all of California. And of course, his televised trial got a lot of attention. I think we talked about this before, where like women fall in love with serial killers. And I think he ended up marrying, I think she was a journalist or something. Like something crazy. And they married and she claimed his innocence their whole life. Like it was crazy.
Damn.
But
ride or die.
Yeah, she was in it. Let me see if I can find his crimes. So he was found guilty of all charges against him. 13 murders, 5 attempted murders, 11 sexual assaults, and 14 burglaries. He never expressed remorse. And after he was sentenced to death, he said to the press, "Big deal. Death always went with the territory. See you in Disneyland." So this guy was messed up. Got married to Doreen Leoy, and she would visit him daily. It was crazy. She fell in love with him. He's kind, he's funny, he's charming. He spent 23 years on death row in California's San Quentin prison until he died of lymphoma in 2013 at the age of 53. So I think they were going to kill him, but he ended up dying at 53.
I guess we won't see him at Disney.
Nope, no longer at Disneyland. But yeah, the Night Stalker terrorized California. And it was rough because it was during the Olympics that happened in Los Angeles. And it was like when the Los Angeles Lakers were bumping. So people were like, "Oh, we're outside. We're outside. It's a great time."
Scary.
But then this guy is terrorizing.
He's watching the Lakers and he's like, "Am I about to score tonight?"
Bro.
Wait, what?
About to get
Oscar. You terrible person. This definitely was caused by a lot of trauma.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
his freaking cousin tainting his mind at 12 or 13.
Yeah, and then what? Like witnessing like his cousin kill his wife? Is that what it was?
Yeah, like,
Okay, yeah.
Brutally.
yeah, terrible. Like,
It's just
If-
a lot of
if someone gets tried for insanity, why do you release them after 4 years? I don't know. The system is all kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
messed up. This
Also,
foundation isn't
like
there.
even if you release them, shouldn't you like
into
keep an
a
eye out?
home or
Yeah.
something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That goes along with my story. The system definitely failed to prevent this person from
Yep.
committing more murders.
I think people can get better, but if you don't continue with like therapy and whatever behavioral health services you have going on, if you don't keep up with it, you're just gonna go back to, because he's always gonna think the way he thinks. But
Yeah, I think there's some people like that
They need
guy,
to
like
manage
the
it.
friggin' what Chainsaw Massacre dude. Exactly, they need to like be maintained
right.
their mental health, or they'll instantly go back to what they're doing. And sometimes it's best to maintain that in a facility for the rest of their life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but fortunate for the rest of the population.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. So again, his trial was televised. He was kind of showboating because he had a bunch of fans. Obviously, people were crazy.
Obviously.
Wait, what was
Obviously-
his name?
Richard Ramirez.
Okay.
This is like a famous photo of him. He drew a pentagram on his hand and like showed it on trial. It's like the evil star or whatever.
You think
Um,
it was like something satanic happening?
yeah, he knew he had a cult-like following of Satanists and suitors in attendance and would put on a show for them. At one point during the upsetting trial, a juror was found beaten and shot inside her home. It was
Oh
soon
my
after
gosh.
discovered that her boyfriend had committed suicide after leaving a note admitting that he killed her. So it could be unrelated, but imagine if that guy was like a super fan and was like, I gotta get rid of this
Yeah.
juror. I don't know, man. People need help.
And
And yeah, he didn't really say his motives because he didn't want to like lay it all out on the trial. Like I think his lawyers were kind of like, we know he's gonna get sentenced, so let's just try to minimize all the publicity and stuff. And yeah, never showed remorse. So
Hate to see it.
Any other comments on David's killer? Or should I jump into mine?
take it away. I know you were saying it's gruesome.
No, it's not. It's just messed up. So
Yeah.
the crimes of my serial killer are all against children.
Oh.
So that's what makes it the most messed
Oh,
up.
no.
Mhm.
So we'll put a trigger warning at the beginning of this. So my serial killer was Pedro Lopez. From 1969 to 1980, Colombian serial killer Pedro Lopez allegedly raped and murdered up to 300 children,
God.
and nobody knows where he is today.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
So during the late 1970s, a number of young girls went missing across Peru. At first, the disappearances went unnoticed because many of the girls were street children or members of indigenous tribes. But one day, a group of Ayachucos people witnessed the near kidnapping of a 9-year-old girl. They stopped the would-be abductor. He was a man named Pedro Lopez. Rather than giving him to the police, though, they beat him, stripped him, and started to bury him alive so that he could die a slow, agonizing death.
As it
But
should.
an American missionary happened to be there and convinced the tribespeople to report Lopez to the police. Local authorities never took Pedro into custody, and instead he was expelled from the country, free to abduct more girls off the streets in other South American countries. So if that meddling American missionary hadn't just let the tribe
Goddamn,
people
dude.
kill him,
Yeah.
would have avoided a lot more crimes. So it's later revealed that he may have raped and murdered as many as 300 children.
Oh my gosh.
Lopez was later captured and charged for his crimes in Ecuador in 1980. He was only sentenced to 16 years in prison. That is because I think that was like the max amount of years someone could go to prison.
What?
And shockingly, he was released early by 2 years for good behavior. And then he was arrested yet again as an illegal immigrant and deported back to his home country of Colombia, where he was held in a psychiatric hospital. Eventually, though, Lopez was declared sane and was released again in 1998, and the last time he was ever seen was in 1999.
Whoa, so could be out there still, could be dead.
Yeah, so he could be dead.
How
and
old would he be right now?
He was born October 8th, 1948, so he'd be pretty old. If he's alive right now, he would be like 75,
Damn.
If
which
he's-
is like very plausible that you
Yeah.
could be alive.
Yeah. I'm surprised no one fucked him up or even killed him in prison.
Right.
I
you
feel
would-
like
yeah.
child molesters or child rapists like get fucked in prison.
Yeah. So I guess a little background is he left his home when he was 8. It's unknown if he ran away from home or if he was
Mhm.
kicked out by his mom. I think his mom was a sex worker. He was also molested as a child by like teachers and just like adults that he knew. So that's kind of
Yeah.
where all his messed upness
Mm-hmm.
originated from. that's like the summary. I could go into more details, but it's pretty messed up. When he was arrested, he claimed in Peru he murdered more than 100 girls between the ages of 9 and 12. And he was known as the Monster of the Andes.
They should have just let him bury him alive. Damn.
Right.
Yeah.
God damn, why people?
Always some missionary trying to.
Always some
Disturb.
American meddling in other countries.
I wonder that American was like, fuck, I should have let him like bury that guy.
Yeah, just saved a lot more trouble.
That's how they be dealing with stuff out there. They just make their own rules.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
street justice.
And sometimes that's what you need. You just need your own rules.
Some people
That
cannot
would
be.
have helped
Yeah.
prevent a lot of murders.
I
Cannot be
remember one time I was watching, my parents love to watch Peruvian news because they're Peruvian. And I remember this segment popped up where they talked about some like tribe in Peru, and some of the teens decided to like have a party during like the COVID times where everyone's trying to isolate. So they had a party and they got caught. So they got whipped.
Oh my gosh.
But they don't like get whipped by like, well, I think it was either like belts or like some type of like rope thing. Yeah.
Like a
But
tassel
they
thing.
do it like in front of their community,
Like
so
a
they can
public
be embarrassed.
Flogging.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Goodness.
which it's terrible, but I can understand why everyone's upset.
Oh my Bet you they didn't have another party.
Yeah, not after that.
Yeah, also like this community's resources are very limited. It's not like if someone like people aren't just getting like trigged or stuff like that. Like if you get COVID and are really sick, like you're gonna die.
It's game over.
Yeah. That's what they should have definitely not thrown a party.
Oh, one update is in 2002, Interpol issued a warrant for his arrest in connection with the new murder case. But again, nobody has seen him since 1999. So
Dang.
his whereabouts remain unknown to this day. When he was convicted in Ecuador, it was for the murder of 110 people.
God damn.
But yeah, at that time, the maximum sentence was only 16 years.
That's so
Damn.
dumb.
They
Wait.
couldn't have been like 16 years per person.
Right.
Where was he from again?
Save the trouble.
So
Give
he
him the
was
chair.
from Colombia.
Colombia.
So after he was released from Ecuador, he did get deported back to Colombia, and they tried to make a case against him, but they couldn't. If they had been able to successfully make a case against him in Colombia, he likely would have been put to
life.
like the death sentence.
Oh,
like they would
yeah.
have killed him through firing squad, because I guess that's what they do in Colombia at that time. But unfortunately, they didn't have enough evidence.
So they just let him go.
Yeah, so then that's when he was put in the mental health facility, but he was released later on.
What did you wake up
Scary.
one day like, I'm good now. I'm fine now. Let me go.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you're good.
I don't know, man. Here's a picture of him. His nose is all messed up.
From getting beat up.
But yeah, that's why I was like, mine's kind of messed up. I don't know if I should read it. There are messed up details in this article as well, but I don't feel like going into them.
Right. Nitty gritty. Y'all do your own research if you want, but if there's something to close off Scary Month, serial killers are the real life monsters.
Mhm.
So y'all be careful out there. There's some sick people.
Be vigilant.
Yes.
Keep your friends close.
Keep your eyes open. Watch out for your friends.
What?
Whoa. She
They're
starts
the
eyeing.
ones you least expect.
She starts eyeing us differently. Like,
Oh my gosh. I did also have an article that just had like short summaries of other serial killers, and there was one that I thought was cool that I wanted
Okay.
to read. So this is the serial killer H.H. Holmes. He was one of the first recorded serial killers in 1893. He opened a hotel of horrors in Chicago, where it was designed for the sole purpose of carrying out the most heinous of murders, and the place was called the Castle due to its immaculate appearance. So this hotel was full of torture rooms, including one that expelled poisonous gas.
What?
Holmes would invite people into these rooms and then kill them in a variety of ways. He eventually left Chicago for Texas, and he planned to open a similar death hotel, but the plans fell through, and he wandered across the U.S. and Canada. Police originally arrested him in Missouri on charges of selling mortgaged goods, and after some investigation found the depth of his crimes, and they were able to confirm 9 murders that he did, but he might have killed up to 200 people over the course of his life,
Goodness.
based
That's
on the number of
crazy.
missing people reports during the time of his crimes. He was hanged in 1896. But that's crazy. He had a whole hotel
Right.
designed
That-
for killing people.
That could be
Dang.
pinpointed as a location, but
People
They're
check
just
in and they don't
sneaking.
check out.
dang, that's early as heck too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like the original Saw guy. It
I've
was-
never seen the Saw movies.
Me neither. They'll seem a little too gory for me, but who
It's
knows?
fake blood, David.
I
It's
know
not
it's all
real.
fake. It's all fake.
It's not real, David.
It's
Don't be
not
scared.
real.
I think it's more the psychological thing where it's like, oh, you can survive, but the key's behind your eyeball, and it's like, what?
How does it even? How did it get there? Who put it there?
Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Have you seen those?
I've seen a couple of them. I haven't watched in a long time because there's just so many that
Yeah.
at some point it just starts not to be good. Like Fast and Furious.
Too many.
I've seen the Saw scene in Scary Movie 4 with Dr. Phil and Shaq.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Shaq was so good in that. He's just so talented.
He's
We
like,
love you, DJ Diesel.
Yeah.
DJ
he's like,
Diesel.
what's wrong? He's like, your leg. You cut the wrong one.
Wait, is that when he like falls and it's the
And
legs,
his legs
the
are on the
fold?
floor. Yeah.
Good movie.
Cuatro.
It's so crazy to think that they got both Shaq and Dr. Phil for
For
that
that scene.
Dr. Phil, iconic.
Yeah.
That they got him on there. That's so funny.
And then he just continues doing his show.
Yeah, like acts like nothing happened. But speaking of movies, we're supposed to watch a scary movie right after this pod. So
Ooh.
Hereditary.
we're not watching
No, you
Hereditary.
keep changing the plans.
We're gonna watch The Conjuring or Annabelle.
Which one came
Okay.
first? What's the original?
I think it was.
The Conjuring.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think The Conjuring is the first of the,
The
whole series.
All right. Can
Yeah.
we watch that one?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Start from the beginning.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen any of those
Ooh.
in that series.
don't know if I've seen it. I might have. We'll
In
find
my
out.
opinion,
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
The Conjuring is the best one of all of them.
Ooh, I'm excited then.
Ooh.
It says the first movie, Annabelle, is technically a prequel to The Conjuring.
Right, but
Yeah,
which
but
one came
Conjuring
out first?
created
Like
was
which one
created
came out
first.
first?
Versus like, okay.
By release.
The
date.
Annabelle one is pretty good too.
Oh, yeah. The Conjuring debuted in 2013. I'm so
Dang.
excited. These are my favorite movies to watch in October. It's a good movie to put on when you're getting ready.
That's tomorrow. Dang.
Getting ready, you're getting ready to
Get
go
ready
out.
with me.
Like this is my. Oh, sorry, Luna. This is my highlighter or whatever, and they just hear in the background.
Mm-mm-mm.
So good.
When listeners wish us well, I might not survive the scary movie.
You're gonna be fine. It's fake.
It's also 4
I
p.m.
say we gotta get it started while there's still daylight outside.
I hope it gets dark soon.
It'll be dark at like 8.
What are you scared of?
The movie.
The Conjuring.
But
monsters?
like,
I just don't like being scared. I don't like the jump scares. I don't like the uneasy feeling it gives me.
I don't know. I don't mind it. The adrenaline. Ooh.
yeah, it's all about the adrenaline.
I feel like here's the thing. Obviously, as a kid, I was a big boo-boo baby about scary movies. But now as a man, I think I can take them, but they're just not my preference. So I have been enjoying the scary movies.
I feel
We've
like
only
also
watched one so far.
Well, I still can't smile, even though it was like a year ago.
Yeah.
Oscar, do you like scary movies?
And
Yeah.
talk to me.
I like them if they're good. Like, I've seen a lot of scary movies where they feature a lot of jump scares,
Mhm.
and that's the scary part. And
it's
I'm like, it's not a good movie if you're just using that to scare me.
like the story isn't there for you.
Yeah, like sometimes the story can be not as good, but still be a good like scary movie. And I think that also like hurts them too. Is sometimes they shape the story, like the plot, in a way to have more scary scenes incorporated, and then
Mhm.
it just kind of makes the movie bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the worst is like when they still have the crazy scary music playing and then it's a jump scare, but it's just like someone coming in the doorway,
like-
and it's like, oh hey neighbor, like it's like, dude, corny.
A lot of movies
Right.
do that, and
Oh my
that's why
God.
I don't like them. It's the music. The soundtrack really makes a difference on like how you feel as you're watching the movie.
And I'm okay if they do that once, like early on, but don't do it again.
Because it's like a oh ha ha ha.
Yeah,
I
like
feel like that's how Smile was actually. Smile had
for
a lot
sure.
of like scenes where she's just at her house, and then it'd be like, "Ugh."
ding.
I
Yeah.
love it because the music controls how you feel. Sometimes I'll
Yeah.
watch like the behind the scenes orchestra for like the music they make for
Oh,
scary
that
movies.
crazy instrument that they use.
Yeah. The violin. I feel like most of it is the violin.
Well, it's like a specific instrument, but it uses the violin.
I
bow,
know what
right?
you're talking
It's
about.
like oh, that's Scott. Scary sound.
so
Tip
yeah.
throw
I think
through
it's
the window.
I think scary movies are harder to make like a good one,
hmm
but when you make a good one, it's really good.
See, that's why I like Jordan Peele, because obviously he was a comedy guy and then
Yeah.
has ventured into the horror world, but I think his are more like story forward
Yeah.
and doesn't rely as much on like jump scares and stuff. So I'm always excited to see. I still haven't seen Us, is it called?
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I still need to see that. Nope was good.
Us, is that
Get Out
the
was
Jordan
really good.
Peele one with the bunnies?
I'm not sure. It's like a family or something, I think. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I've
only
seen
seen Get Out.
Get Out. That one was really good.
Is
Definitely
Us the
so.
Jordan Peele movie though?
I think so.
I would say they're more like thrillers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen Us.
Mm-hmm.
It is like psychological thriller, I would
Mhm.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
but
ending is
technically,
crazy.
I
I
like
think he's
horror.
classified as like a horror director. Only reason I throw that out there.
I like demon stuff because I feel like that's the one that scares me the most. But
Ooh,
okay, let's
those-
wrap this up so we can go watch Hereditary.
Not Hereditary.
Not
Conjuring.
Hereditary. Thank you
Okay,
very
The
much.
Conjuring.
Don't give her the control. She's gonna put on Hereditary.
Well, since it's the last episode before, or the last spooky episode,
Ooh.
let's each just give one horror movie recommendation. I mean, I know we've
Okay.
talked about movies through the pod, but
All right.
what
let's see.
recommendations would you guys have?
Do you have one?
Well, I brought it up before. Child's Play.
Okay.
I think that one's a really good horror
Classic.
movie. But yeah, Conjuring and Insidious. I think those two are some of the best like
Mhm.
horror movies I've seen.
Classics.
Insidious was good. I enjoyed it. It was a thrilling one.
Yeah, this episode will come out October 30th. So
Ooh.
listen to this in the morning on Monday. Go watch some scary movies tonight and
Mhm.
tomorrow to
And then-
wrap up October.
Go
And then
trick or treating.
It's Thanksgiving. Oh yeah, trick or treating. But then it's Thanksgiving
Season. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I like the Annabelle, Conjuring, or Insidious. But like, if you really want to be scared, not sleep at night, I recommend Hereditary.
Oh,
If she-
what a
It
shocker!
will
What a
fuck you up.
shocker that she picked
If
Hereditary.
she hasn't brought it up. no.
It'll fuck you up. That's all I gotta say about that. All right.
Well, you're just not gonna let us give a recommendation?
Oh, I thought you
Right.
did.
She thought she could just.
You're right.
Only Oscar did.
Oh,
She's like,
my bad.
Watch Hereditary. Bye. Sam, do you have one?
Well, I was gonna say I don't know if I have any good scary
Right,
movie
'cause you're not
recommendations.
the-
I have seen Us by Jordan Peele, so I'll pick that one
Okay.
because it does make you feel uneasy as you're watching it, but it's not as classically a scary movie as The Conjuring and stuff.
Uh-huh.
It is
Yeah.
a psychological thriller. The ending really makes you think, and there's scary parts in it. Yeah, I don't know. Just watch it.
Mhm.
Jordan Peele doesn't miss.
All right. And then just to close us off, I will recommend Talk to Me. It's a newer one. It's probably still in theaters. I would say it was more of a they're selling it as like the scariest movie that's out right now, but I, as a scary movie, Scaredy Baby, didn't think it was the scariest thing, but it was a very good story and it was very well told and acted. So I recommend that. Hit the theaters. Support local theaters. All right.
All right, then. Well, now we can wrap up the episode. So don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Eating Good Pod. Leave us a voicemail if you want to be featured in an episode. And we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
I need some more of Bella's Coke.
She's gonna come back. He's gone.
Wow.